went to the lounge scene, which was actually shot in the Bronx. And this is actually a place that my brother managed, this club, and so we had the opportunity to use it. So this is Miss Garcia and Rory A. McAvoy doing this scene here. And this shot here is not in the Bronx, it's actually in Brooklyn. This is in the industrial area in Bushwick. So we have David Marco Tirado here as Victor's associate, and they're doing an excellent job in their scenes. And here we have this awesome motorcycle, which is a Yamaha that we rented from someone. And Matt, lucky for us, he actually has a lot of experience riding motorcycles, so that came in handy for this shoot. So that was Lino Decor that just walked by, and so we get these actors to walk in and out of the scenes to actually give them kind of like, you could actually understand the space. So this scene took a whole day to shoot. There's a lot of work here. Everybody did their job very well. And the whole entire idea of this scene was to have hand-to-hand combat with a gun. And as you saw before, with the sound effects, the muzzle flashes, these are all done in post. You add it, you control it, you put the trajectory of the gunshot from point A to point B to create the realism of these scenes. So we have Matthew, and what you have to be careful, this lounge had a lot of mirrors, so actually some of the shots the camera got in the way, so but these shots they weren't. But you have to be careful, because even if you think you are clear from the camera, the mirrors somehow can be very deceiving, so you have to be very, very careful. And these guns here we use for the movie are actually BB guns. They look exactly very, very real. So all these shots that you have weapons, you must do it in a closed space, because you don't want to cause any problems with the public and your crew. So all these guns, the shotgun, the handguns, these were all BB guns, plastic guns, but they are exactly replicas of the real thing. There's really nothing different about them besides that they do not shoot really bullets. So all these blasts we see here were done in post with special effects software. You create those things. They help you, but you actually have to do everything yourself. It's not something that's very easy. It takes weeks and weeks to actually do all these shots here. So imagine a movie who has like a war battle and they just like bullets flying all over the place and missiles. It's like must take a large crew to do the scene, to do those scenes. So we come into the end of this when Horatio gets away on his motorcycle. Now, one of the most complicated scenes was actually doing this FDR drive chase. That Samuel Trailer was a very, very good actor. He is in the water tower that I built, and he's giving instructions to Horatio to go and look for clues for his family. So this was actually shot on the east side of Manhattan. That's the 59th Street Bridge, and this took about 2 months to shoot. And this was shot from all different angles. We actually shot from the 59th, from the Roosevelt Island, from New Jersey, from Brooklyn, from Long Island City, Queens, from Manhattan, from the FDR Drive. So all these angles took to make this 4-minute chase scene. So the way this was shot was out of my truck on a rig that I built that actually, because New York City has so many potholes, the shot won't be steady. And we went very, very early in the morning. And this shot was a complicated shot of that F-16 fighter plane. That's actually a very expensive replica of a fighter plane, and you green screen that. And I went to an airport in Long Island, New York, in Suffolk County, and just shot some airport shots and composite that fire the plane into that scene, and you control how fast you want it to fly. Then you actually draw the thrusters and the smoke, and then you put the sound to give it realism. So this was done about 125 blocks. We shot this 6 times. So you do 125 blocks north of the FDR drive, south of the FDR drive, north of the FDR drive, back and forth, all different angles. You get like, we'll do this scene here for 125 blocks, and then when you edit, you pick out the best scenes. All these spaceship scenes was all done with green screen compositing. This was shot later on out of the moon roof of a car. This here is on a jig that it's actually we controlling from inside the vehicle, so you won't be outside the vehicle. And make sure when you edit that you don't have any other cars like parallel to him, so you will it could show that he's actually going faster than he's actually going. So all these shots were very complicated. Matt is a really good motorcycle rider, and so we put all these laser beams and glow, and everything is fast paced, so you have to actually work with the time, because every second there's 30 frames in a second, so you're working frame by frame by frame by frame to do these shots. So it took a long time to actually create all these special effects added onto this, but Matthew did a good job by pretending that he's getting shot by this spaceship. So these shots are all done hand. Each missile, it's one missile at a time, and then you draw it. This is another very expensive replica of a NYPD police car that is green screen onto the actual real world. So that's how you do those scenes. And this is a slow-mo scene, and Matt is wearing the outfit that it created, and the actually motorcycle uniform. There's the F-16 again. That's actually a shot from New Jersey. This is a shot from Roosevelt Island, and these are all a really hard shot to do while things are moving. And then you create this world, and you put it all together, and that's the Manhattan Bridge, and it hopefully comes out to some sort of entertainment that everyone will like. And so this is how you do this scene. Very complicated, but you learn a lot, and it was fun. Now we come up to our last scene. There's actually the end of our movie. This is Catherine Gonzalez, and she does a great job as being held captive by Victor, and Matthew as Horatio Odessa is to rescue his daughter. So this was very complicated shots too to do. This was a whole day shoot. A little cold that day, and all this shotgun. See, we have to use locations where people cannot see you with shotguns. You know, you don't want to scare the neighbors. So we were pretty high up on the roof, and you want to be careful when you do things on roofs, because you know it's very high. So safety is the first thing you want to do in any shoot is safety. All this is done in post. All these blasts in front of that gun. This took a long time to do. You put the smoke, you put the blast, where is it going, the angle of it, and frame by frame. And this is shot to give it more dramatic with flipping and clocking the shotgun. And it's great to have good actors. These three here are very good actors, and they make the scene come to life. And there's Catherine Gonzalez doing a very good job. And this is another, mostly all the shots here were done with Steadicam, because you could hold it. Then holding it with your hand, you hold it with the Steadicam to give this shot here that flows. One of my favorite shots is this shot here. Then we have Paul Gagne, one of the assistant directors who helped. So he's behind the door holding it so she can't pull it open. So those are things you do in an independent movie to make it work. And we actually had to make a rig, Paul and I, to hold the piece of wood that goes into Rory, or Victor, the character Victor. This is a belt with a piece of wood on it, and you screw it and you strap it on his chest, and then you cut a hole in the shirt and use fake blood. And they sell fake blood for like $5. So in Manhattan. So this is the end of the commentary for Horatio's Odyssey. Thank you, and hopefully to see you next time for Horatio's Journey.